circuit as we are in New York City at the Armory, week removed from such amazing racing in the 117th edition of the Millrose Games. But here we go with Austin Farron out of Auburn. The 17-year-old will be wearing hip number 16 as we meet the field in this 2-mile. Next to him, Wyatt Felkowski, one of those CBAs that will have many of those guys in this field throughout this 2-mile race. Next to him, wearing hip 14, is Grady Jenkins out of Midlothian, Texas. 9:27.21, his PR, the 18-year-old racing here in New York. Jay Adamala of Colts Neck Track Club won New Jersey Sectionals 3,200 last week and now toes the line at the 2-mile distance. Down to the main line, Sean Galvin leads us off. One of those from CBA, the 16-year-old stepped in the line with his teammates here at the 2-mile distance. Next to him is Ryan Collins, as we'll meet a trio of CBA runners here fast and furiously. Collins will be wearing hip number 11. Next to him, it'll be Thomas Field. The number of CBA athletes again in this 2-mile field, he is among them as we move down to single digits. Hunter Sokolpa of Colts Neck Track Club, the New Jersey Group 2-3 champion at 3,200 meters last year outdoors on the track. Trent Thibault of Ithaca, New York, wearing hip number 8, the 16-year-old in this high-voltage 2-mile. Gavin Schmidt, also out of CBA, 16-year-old, will wear hip number 7. His teammate, year older, perhaps a year wiser, Alex Mastroli, will wear hip number 6. And then next to him, outdoor PB of 9:07.17. This is Ryan Sykes. He'll wear hip number 5. The fourth-place finisher from the New Jersey Meet of Champions cross-country event last fall, Ryan Schmidt of CBA. He'll wear hip number 4. Talked about it in the preview show. Luke Natt will be here, third of the New Jersey non-public AB 3,200 meters outdoors last year on the track. From Wilmington, Delaware, won the Virginia Showcase earlier this year, Benjamin Pizarro. The 18-year-old will wear hip number 2. And out of Connecticut, hip number 1, Alex Fisher. Again, NXR Northeast runner-up on the cross-country circuit earlier this year, has the inside rail as we round out the field in this high-voltage boys 2-mile run. As they get things underway, we show you the start list in full exposure. Great job by the Trials of Miles folks to get these high-voltage windows put together with some of the best high school runners from around the region, heck, from around the country. And we saw some fireworks at the 2-mile distance at our first circuit stop in Chicago with Tavon Kitchen running 8:41.21. That is still the high school number 1. In fact, the top 3 times in the country this year at the high school level, all from the circuit high-voltage 2-mile in Chicago just a couple of weeks ago. Tristan Yoder in 3rd overall on that list, finishing 3rd in 9:00.61. We see the early setting of the pace here as we get to the racing on this 2-mile distance, a little more than 8 laps of this track. Andy Kent setting the early pace, ran that first lap in 34.88, which was actually 2:18 in terms of meters, but he'll set the pace ahead of Alex Fisher, Felkowski, Nat, and Ryan Sykes back there in 5th. Ryan Schmidt of CBA back there racing in 6th position. Love this little mix-up at distances here with a lot of these kids running at 3,200 meters during the course of their indoor high school and outdoor high school season. But this 2-mile distance squares them all off as Kent clicks on the watch and clicks down the laps here as they continue to race through this early part of the race with 13 laps to go. Kent, the leader, followed by Fisher, Felkowski, Nat, Sykes, and Schmidt. Nearly single file racing here on the backstretch at the Armory as they'll complete the first half mile and a quarter way home in this high voltage 2 mile. And Alex Fisher just very comfortable there in second position. Sitting behind Kent, another lap of about 35 seconds, 34.87 to be exact, as they reach 818 meters. Fisher still there, along with Felkowski, Nat, Sykes, and Schmidt. So 3 Christian Brother Academy athletes here in the top 5. And now some single file racing here as everybody finds room to run on the rail. First 1,000 meters complete, 11 laps remain. 34.63, slightly faster on that last lap. Still Kent, Fisher, Fulkowski, Nat, Sykes, Schmidt, then Grady Jenkins back in 7th, Adamala 8th, Sokalpa in 9th, and Pizarro in 10th. But everyone in contact with the main group. Now perhaps a group of about 5 here with a little gap. 10 laps to go and a slightly faster last lap, causing some pressure here for the rest of the field to try to stay in this one. As they move down the backstretch, still Kent, Fisher, Fulkowski, Nat, Sykes, and Schmidt. Fulkowski wearing hip number 15 in the field. 9 laps to go, 33.61, one of the quicker laps of this oval at the Armory. As they close in on the halfway mark. So a mile to go, 4:31 or so, I think, at that mile mark to go. 4:33.08 at the line at 618 meters. Again, 9 meters longer than the equivalent mile that they'll run here to conclude the race. Kent, Fisher, Nat, Fulkowski, Schmidt, and Adamala. Again, only 2 athletes under 9 minutes here on the high school list so far in 2025. Tavon Kitchen and Juan Gonzalez, part of that fabulous 2 mile we had in Chicago for the high voltage at the first stop on the circuit. 7 laps to go, 32.67. We continue to get some speed here adjusted in the latter half of this race as they try to pick up the steam a little bit. Kent moving along to the outside. Fisher there now in position with Nat behind him. And then Jenkins has slowly and steadily moved up, and he's now going to be effectively in 3rd here as Andy Kent's going to move to the outside. And it will be Alex Fisher taking hold of this race as they come to the line with 6 laps to go, 33.41. We'll keep an eye on that split now with the pacer off the track. Kent stepping back. And Fisher, Nat, then Jenkins, Kent, Ryan Schmidt, and Jay Adamala. That early pace really starting to spread out this group now. They were all in tow together, but not so much anymore. Just 1,000 meters to go on this track. As Fisher, Nat, and Jenkins are your top 3, 33.62. So starting to lose a little bit of that 32 mid pace that Kent was giving them through most of this race. And Fisher still with the lead, Nat, and then back to Jenkins leading that group of 4 with Schmidt, Adamala, and Sokalpa. Now 4 laps to go. Now Fisher starting to see a little bit of daylight between him and Nat. Just over 7 minutes elapsed in this high voltage 2 mile. And Alex Fisher, out of Berlin, Connecticut, starting to have a little bit more room now, and he's going to have to grind it out here. 3 laps to go. 33.59, slightly faster on that last lap. Still Nat, then Jenkins, Schmidt, Adamala, and Sokopa. Keeping an eye on this sub-9 minute performance in a 2 mile. He's got a good shot at it here as he picks up the speed and picks up more lead on that last lap. 2 laps to go for Alex Fisher. 33.25 with 2 laps to go. Now has some people he can chase down, which will help him keep up the pace. Meantime, the race behind him with Nat, Schmidt, Sokopa, Adamala, and Grady Jenkins. And into the home stretch for the penultimate time, Alex Fisher. 33.25 on the previous lap, 32.85. It's going to be awfully close to sub-9 as we head down the backstretch for the final time. Fisher all alone, about 6 seconds ahead of Nat, who's in a battle with Jenkins for second, but in splendid isolation is Alex Fisher, as he will come home trying to get himself under 9 minutes here at the Armory, and he will do it in style all by himself, taking the victory here in the high voltage 2 mile. 8:58.23. That is U.S. number 3 in 2025 for Alex Fisher. Adamala 9:06.41. That'll put him in the top 10 U.S. And how about that high voltage medal around Alex Fisher? That's certainly something to come racing home for as he takes the victory. Convincing fashion. Luke Nat will get a new lifetime best, finishing in third at 9:06.69. Great job of pacing up front in the early going by Andy Kent, and then Fisher, who had sat behind him the entire way. When given the opportunity to take control, he does so, and he gets himself under the 9 minute mark in the 2 mile. Here are the official results. Fisher the winner in 8:58.23, Adamala second in 9:06.41, and Luke Nat of CBA takes third in 9:06.69. Let's hear from the winner, who's with Taylor.
Go. Hey guys, I'm here with the winner of the boys high voltage 2 mile, Alex Fisher. So you're saying this is your first time under 9 minutes for the full 2 miles. Can you just walk me through how that race felt throughout the entire thing?
I mean, thanks for the great pacer there. And I was able to just shut my mind off and stay smooth throughout it, which is exactly what I needed. And being able to have competition right on my back the whole time up until maybe the very end was amazing. And I heard someone shout, his form is breaking. I'm like, oh, that's motivation for me then. But yeah, thanks so much to Armory. Like, my priority is in the outdoor season, but at the same time, having these great competitions here is such a good motivator.
Yeah, for sure. And that is the 3rd fastest time in the country right now. So when you hear that, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's cool, but at the end of the day, rankings aren't really anything until outdoor comes, honestly. But it's good for motivation, I'd say.
Yeah, so we got some national meets coming up. So how does a race like this set you up for the rest of the season?
I mean, it's really just a good place to see where my fitness is, see where I could build off that. But yeah, happy for the day.
All right, well, thanks. Great race today.